Alright, now we've done our fender and we're going to move up here to the tank. I've cut a piece out here. Try to cut this piece out a little bit big, close enough to where you don't have a lot of extra to work with. We've got it pretty close. We'll just peel the backing off and we'll just lay that piece up there and trim it out to fit just like the other one. Making sure we've got it covered on all the different sides of it. Just working down the middle of that curve. If you get a wrinkle, just do what I just did. Just pull it back, start over again. I've got this piece cut where it goes right down the valley of that curve. We're just going to work our way right around here, down into this corner, all along this edge, all the way up here to the tip of the gas tank. Then I'll pull it loose here and keep working it up this tank until it gets all the way up here to the black. We'll just keep pulling and squeegeeing this material. Keep working with it until we get it all the way up to the edge of the plastic body piece here. You can see where the edge is. And we'll move on down here and just keep working with this, trying to keep the wrinkles out of it. Like I said before, if you get to a spot where you can't keep the wrinkles out of it, just cut it and let it overlap itself. It's bunching up pretty good right in here. The other thing we can do is we can come in there with some heat, and that heat will a lot of times keep those little wrinkles from forming into creases. So I'm gonna get my heat gun set up here, and I'm gonna show you real quick how to use the heat gun to eliminate some of these smaller wrinkles here. We can still do that in one piece. We'll go ahead and trim this out real quick. Cut that back a little bit away from that edge so we can tuck it around that gas tank. We can just come in there with our squeegee and just roll that edge underneath there, like so. We're going to use the heat gun here. We're going to work on this area right here where we've got some small wrinkles, and by heating this Camoclad up, it's gonna make it softer. It makes it a lot easier to move around without getting any wrinkles. So we're gonna add a little heat to it, and you'll see how it'll conform into those curves. We get it hot like that, it gets real soft, real pliable. The other thing you want to do when you are Camoclad in anything, you want to make sure the temperature is in the mid-range, somewhere between like 65 and 90, 85 degrees. It gets really hot out. It makes it really hard to work with it because it gets too pliable and too sticky. This heat gun will definitely help you out in certain spots, but if you went outside, and it was 95 degrees out, it would be harder to work with this stuff because it would be so soft and pliable. So you can see the way it conformed right into that curve. We didn't have to make any relief cuts at all, and it just fell right into place. The one thing you want to do after we get our project done, we'll go over the entire bike with this heat gun and heat all this Camoclad up and go over the whole thing with this heat gun when we're done. But for right now, I just wanted to show you how to use it to get into these areas where you can keep from having to make so many relief cuts in your Camoclad. You can actually heat it up and get it to lay in there. Then we'll come along here and trim all that out. Now we've got the front fender done and the gas tanks done. We're going to move to the back fender. There's a small indentation here, so I went ahead and did that already ahead of time, just to cut out some small pieces and fill that in. And now we've got a piece cut that's big enough to do the fender. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to tackle it all as one piece, I'm going to cut it right here where the curve is, and I'm going to lay this piece on, and then this piece will cover it, but it'll all be in the same pattern. So we're going to go ahead, now that we've got this laid on there pretty close to where we want it, and I'm going to cut it right across here, and we'll put this side bottom piece on first, and then we'll lay this piece on over it. So this piece is going to go right in here. Peel our backing off, and we'll position this piece, making sure we got it covered like so. What I like to do when I get this piece on there is I work with the biggest, flattest areas on the four-wheeler. Being right up here on top of this fender, I'll go ahead and make sure all that's down before I start working on these curves. And then I'll come down in here and work across this big flat area down low, right across here. I can put a relief cut right here where this is wanting to fold. That'll keep that material from wanting to bunch up down here. And I'll just keep working myself across this bottom fender all the way down along this edge. And then I'll work my way back up, making sure I don't have any wrinkles in the material.